Powerboost. Today's topic: stop the pain and start healing. One big area around which much of our pain revolves is the area of unfulfilled desires and expectations that are not met. Now, we live in a world where pain has become something that is part of our everyday life. And of course, there are many different forms of pain. There is physical pain, of course, body hurting. There is emotional pain when things in relationships or in interactions don't work out. Then there is pain because of that relationship. And very often, our response to pain is to blame, to look for the cause or what we think is the cause or who we think is the cause of it. And we blame and we try and change that person or try to change that situation. The spiritual approach is very useful because it is much more in your own hand. Someone else changing, we might try and we might force and we might beg, but they might not change. And they might continue with their behavior. And if I feel that they are the cause of my sorrow, then I will continue to be in sorrow because they don't change. The spiritual knowledge tells us that, and that doesn't need any big intelligence to understand that, is that other people don't change just because I want to. Situations don't stop, or life events don't stop from happening just because I don't like it or I don't want it. Even physical pain and bodily pain, we have to learn to deal with these kinds of situations. Now, one big area, as I mentioned before, is this area of desires and expectations. Desires that are not fulfilled, expectations that are not met. Through desires and through having expectations and sometimes maybe even demands, we give the power of our peace, of our contentment to that situation or to some external factor. So say, for example, if I expect someone to be in a certain way or to behave in a certain way, it means I give them the power to decide if I am peaceful or not. I give them the power to decide whether I feel content or not. I give them the power to decide whether I feel good or not. And actually, I become subservient. I become dependent for my well-being, for my inner feelings of self-respect and value. I become dependent on that situation or that person. Now, is it possible to approach a situation or a person or even a physical illness with an inner state where I don't have expectations or much less expectations? Can I approach that situation or that person with a mind that is full, a mind that may be even overflowing, a mind that is content by itself. Then it is nice to be with a certain person, but if they are not there, I'm still okay. Then it may be that a certain situation is there or not there, but I am okay. And this is why meditation becomes such a useful and maybe even a necessary tool. Because through meditation, we explore and are able to experience the innate goodness and the innate fullness of the being that we are, the spiritual being that we are. To come out of a state of ego and to come out of a state of dependencies and bondages and attachments where we create all forms of desires and expectations. And then we are at the mercy of others, at the mercy of life's situations. And so we will either be in pain because those expectations were not met, or we are anxious and stressed and insecure because we don't know if those desires or expectations will be met or not. And even if they are met, at any time it can change. And so a very simple, very useful, and from my own experience, very powerful tool is to again and again come back to the essence of our own being. No matter what the situation, no matter what the interaction, no matter what the condition of the physical body, no matter what the people I have to deal with are, if I'm coming from that space of inner fullness, inner wholeness, of my own inner peace and wisdom, if I'm coming from my relationship with the Supreme and experiencing the beauty and the peace and the love that comes from that, I can interact with others and with situations and life situations from that space of inner calm and inner wholeness. I'm not needy. I can contribute or I can decide to withdraw, but not from a place of inner neediness. And so I can't be hurt when I coming from that space. But this doesn't happen overnight. Over long period of time, we have plunged into this habit of depending, of expecting, of desiring and needing, and we even started to believe that that is normal. Even more so, the importance of exploring your true, your eternal identity as a spiritual being, and the wholeness and the completeness that comes from this, and that this human life is a play being acted out. This is a stage on which we play the game of human life, but we are the invisible actors, souls. This body is the costume. When this body is not there, I continue to exist, the being of consciousness, the soul. And meditation is about coming back to that awareness that I am this invisible actor invisible experiencer, invisible guest in this body, guest on this planet, and to experience the beauty and the innate benevolence and goodness of who I truly am as a child of the Supreme. So let's take a few moments. And for these few moments, we just accept everything as it is. For a few moments, you accept the body, you accept the surroundings, you accept the people in this game of life around. And if you accept, there's no need to think about it. No need to worry. It is as it is, and it is okay. Just drop. The play and become aware of the self as this invisible being of consciousness. A being who is invisible, but the one who operates this body, the one who is using the eyes to see and using this mouth to speak, the one who is using the brain to operate this body and using the brain to think. The soul. And we use the image of a tiny star operating from the center of the forehead. Pure, serene, timeless, living light. The real self. Not the part and not the body. Those are tools to play the game. But the invisible experiencer, a being who is innately God-like. Free, timeless, immortal soul. Existed, the soul, the real self, existed before this body took shape. And after this body perishes, I will continue to exist and journey on. Timeless, immortal, being of light. Soul doesn't need anything to exist. Soul doesn't need anything to be a child of the Supreme, to have a right to peace, harmony, to love. And so to stop pain, repeatedly remind yourself of who you truly are. Immerse the mind in these thoughts and allow these feelings of calm serenity emerge. Fill your mind with these thoughts of wisdom and these feelings of calm. This is what is healing. And then we can approach everyday situations from that place of calm, serene independence. Of course, this is a journey, but every journey starts with a first step. And you go on by taking step by step by step by step. So make meditation and the practice of soul consciousness a daily activity. This is the medicine for the soul. Om Shanti. Om means I am a spiritual being, a soul, invisible. And Shanti means peace. Om Shanti. Remind yourself again and again that you are a being of peace. Om Shanti. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day. Reminding yourself, remembering and experiencing your nature, your true nature, and your true identity as a being of light.